Hey people, Mintred here, 1v1, Quest Heresy, blue side. Pax, also known I believe as Zevragel, with a Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero walking through objects cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption fighting in melee. Up against is VindicareX with a Force Commander, very strong offense fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support. Two incredibly experienced players going at it here. VindicareX, back from the very old pre-Heresy Dawn of War 2 days, when there was no Retribution, no elite mod really kicking around. Zevragel has been around for years and years now. Not sure if they played the original Dawn of War 2 and stuff, but still have like thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. More heretics up here for Zevragel, and I'm hoping for a big messy brawl in the middle, with some battle cries on those heretics and stuff. I think we'll see it. Second heretic squad going to the southeast. Contested VP. Chaos Space Marines going mid, trying to cap. And they're going to be set upon by pretty much everything. Kraken bolts popped by the tactical marines. Here comes the Chaos Lord now. Vindicare going in pretty hard on the CSM here. I think maybe they should have backed off, waited for the heretics. They're switching targets to them. There's a battle cry. There's a doom blast. Heretics out of there. And now Tax have to retreat. Yeah, I think maybe they could have been a little bit more patient. Waited for the heretics to show up. Maybe left those Tax behind that cover. Chaos Lord chasing around the scouts now. Perhaps we'll see a combi flamer to make that a bit easier. Heretics got the VP and can now decap this natural wreck point. And Chaos Lord goes to this natural power point too. You rarely see gens on these. Mostly it's just this one. Right in the middle, outside your base, these two naturals. Devastators now for VindicareX. So most likely a 1-1-1 build for VindicareX, I would think. I don't think we're going to see double devs. And I don't really think they can go tier 2 with this, because they're just going to be outmaneuvered around the sides and stuff. Assuming Zevragel gets another unit up. Force Commander tried to get a decap on that wreck point. Couldn't quite manage it. They probably could. No, maybe not. If they were there for a couple more seconds, would have taken more damage, and the heretics might have been able to get into the retreat path there. Here are your Devastators then. Heavy bolter to suppress infantry. Can't suppress the Chaos Lord, but will do huge amounts of damage if he gets close to it. And the combi flamer is indeed up. 30 DPS ranged weapon with an immolate flamer on it. Also keeps his fancy chaos power sword thing. Chaos sword? I don't know what the technical name is for that in the files. That awesome sword he's got. CSM needs to back off. They weren't fully behind cover there, and they got suppressed by the Devastators. And here are Kraken bolts on the Tax. 20% more damage, sorry, to heavy infantry. CSM did get their Eternal Ward. A grenade is a little bit late to grab him. Grenade from that Scout Sergeant. We do have an aspiring champion for the Heretics. No other unit up yet for Zevragel. Upgrading their squads instead. Was hoping to see some Raptors or something. Chaos Lord trying to be sneaky. Was hiding behind that wall, waiting for the Devastator to set up, and now they might go down. In fact, they will go down. But they can repurchase pretty much immediately when they get down to the 250 wreck. Chaos Space Marines coming back out of base. Trying to run interference, thinking maybe that Vindicare is going to try and get onto the power here. But they have not. And there's no flame attacks. We do have an assault squad up though, that's where the power's going. So it is indeed a 1-1-1 build for VindicareX. Zevragel repurchases, which eats up all of his requisition. I wonder if we're going to see a quick tier 2 into Bloodletters here. Just try to avoid the assault squad, or maybe just pile everything on into them. Although these guys are getting grenade launchers. Help to disrupt the Devastators and stuff. These Chaos Space Marines not too interested in any kind of cover, which is odd. They're also not cutting out those guys' cover by just moving left of it. That was a strange engagement. Didn't drop a model. That low rumble of that combi flamer. really good damage as he's chasing stuff around. No XP whatsoever for Zebragel. I think that means Vindicare hasn't dropped any models. I think so. Oh, is that for the Emperor on the Devastators there? I think it is. Power Sword Force Commander and Artificer Armor 2. For the Emperor is a global ability buff for the Force Commander, giving 25% more damage to a unit for a reasonable amount of time. I think it's more than 10 seconds. Is it 20? It might be 20. The attacks got really low, but they survived. They're going to get a quick decap on the Southeast VP. Devs are sitting on the power now. And the Zebragel does go tier 2. So are we going to see quick Bloodletters or quick Blood Crushers? Or one of each maybe. That'd be pretty cool. That could be quite effective. Alongside that Corn Worship as well. Devastators are dealt with by the Chaos Lord's mere presence. And he's got like a cloak of human skin or something. Force Command chasing them down. Does have a decent chunk of XP, this fella. Chaos Lord might have got himself in a big bit of trouble. Uses Kill the Weak. Here are some CSM to help out. It should be shooting at the scouts, I think. Trying to soften up those Assault Squad fellas a bit. Those guys have 400 hit points of heavy infantry armor each. They can be difficult to take down with just piercing ranged weapons such as bolt guns. There's a jump onto the Grenade Launcher Heretics. They too have an aspiring champion. Trying to move. The melee Heretics coming in. Assault Squad back off of that fight. Here comes the Force Commander in on the CSM. Got one good smack in while the Scouts decap. Getting zoned out here by VindicareX, using the numbers well. Choosing targets a little bit better than Zebragel, I think. Good hit on those Scouts with the grenade launchers, but they did not drop a model, and I don't think Vindicare has dropped one yet. Maybe they have. Oh no, they did. They dropped the TAC. At least one Tactical Marine. Not sure if they've dropped a Scout yet. Straight back on the VP with some pressure now. VindicareX in there with the Power Sword. Where's the battle cry though? Didn't see it. Assault Squad having to retreat. Gets a CSM model with the Power Sword there. The Power Sword makes the Force Commander's battle cry more effective by providing an increased buff, as you can see in the tooltip there, 15% rather than 10%, which is the default. And Bloodletters are here for Zebragel. Nothing else is queued up though. Here they are, demons with power melee Hellblades. Big problems for pretty much all of VindicareX's army, these guys. 45 DPS per model, I think. Which is a lot. 180 for the squad. And they are demons, so they benefit greatly from worship. With the health and energy regen, and +2 speed from Khorne, of course. Might get double Bloodletters here. Would like to see a Blood Crusher follow them up to give VindicareX another armor type to deal with. Maybe force a missile launcher purchase or something. Or a las cannon. 328 to 399 on the VPs. Vindicare needs to regroup a bit. Goes tier 2. Oh, we might just see a Dreadnought. They just purchased something, and I don't think it was a Dreadnought. It might have been a Razorback. Razorback's probably the safest play here. But they might surprise us with a Librarian or something to support the Assault Marines and the Devs. 312 to 399. Chaos Lord does not go for the VP, tried to get that wreck point decapped instead. Grenade Launcher Barrage knocks over the Heavy Bolter fella. Get up, Dave. There's the battle cry from the Force Commander. And here are the Bloodletters teleporting. You do get a little indication. Otherwise, they would chop up even more stuff. Trying to chase down the Scouts. I don't think they have a melee charge, do they, Bloodletters? Yeah, they have a short range teleport instead. Chaos Lord's going to go down again, which is a bit sloppy from Zebragel. That's 500 wreck he's had to have spent on that Chaos Lord so far. Assuming they get revived, of course. Look at Bloodletters doing work, though. Outnumbered, they're still doing heinous amounts of DPS to the assault squad. Oh, it is indeed a librarian for VindicareX. There's Veil of Time on the assault marines. I don't think they're going to get the Bloodletters, though. Just couldn't quite get enough attacks in as they ran. Got them pretty close. The assault squad also got pretty damn close to dying, though. Heretics up the right flank. The eastern side trying to decap things. Any upgrades for this fellow? We're probably going to see... Yeah, there's a Psychic Hood for Gate of Infinity. I don't know if it'll bother with the staff. I mean, it's nice to have. Upgrades his ranged attack as well as increased melee offense. And the Force Barrier is pretty nice. Maybe for the mid here, big pushes. Force Commander gets that central wreck point, taking combi flamer hits. Doesn't quite have the level 2 going though, hey, the Chaos Lord. And they didn't get anything else up yet versus Zebragal. They had to reinforce 2 Bloodletters just then. And repurchase the Chaos Lord, of course. Good usage of Bloodlust could really swing one of these fights. Chaos Lord runs in on the Devastators with some Corn Worship backing him up. Gets a good kill to weak. And Bloodletters are so deadly. Chopped up some scouts pretty quick. Oh, the Librarian did get the 4 staff. 71.4 power melee DPS with 35 piercing DPS. Pretty damn nice. Just like a Tech Marine in his arm shooting lightning. These heretics are getting messed up. Need to stop that worship. There we go. Got some plasma attacks here with the Sergeant. If they pop Kraken bolts, they're going to rip through CSM pretty fast. But the Bloodletters are a massive problem. Double Bloodletters now for Zebragal. Maybe we will see that Dreadnought after all. Vindicare could be thinking about the tier 3 in a tank. I want to see a Dreadnought. Tank is probably smarter. I'm not sure. Dreadnoughts typically just like run themselves into trouble eventually. Even in a 1v1. Level 3 Force Commander runs away. Bloodletters are teleporting... Oh, on the tacks, of course. I thought they were teleporting back to base for some reason. That would have been dumb. So why did he think that, Indrid? We have a Dreadnought on the way for VindicareX, indeed. It's going to be a great tool to have against those Bloodletters. They could try to, like, suck it into a fight and then just teleport somewhere else and split. If they can. The Assault Squad jumping up. There's a blood sacrifice on those heretics, spawning yet more Bloodletters. And Devastators might wipe here. Bloodletters teleport on them, and they just got deleted by that power melee. There's some Corn Worship. These blood sacrifice fellas are just going to disintegrate, which is why they're being chucked in to death. Not sure if you get XP for taking them out even. The Dreadnought is up. Blood Sacrifice is a global ability of the Chaos Lord, by the way. I'm not sure how much Bloodlust is. I think it's quite expensive, though. Dreadnought spotted. Vindicare replaces the devs. What does Zebragal do now? Do they go tier 3 for the tank? Do they get... I don't think they can get Havocs up. It might have to be Plague Marines or something. Or a Dreadnought of their own with Marco Zinch or something like that. I don't think that's a good idea with the other devs coming in. I think it'll be tier 3 for Zebragal. I mean, they haven't gone yet. They got plenty of power. I think they should go tier 3 here. Dreadnought using that wrist-mounted flamer to scare off some Bloodletters under worship there. They phased out as another trick they have. Can phase out of existence to take no damage and no knockback. But they can't do damage or cap during that time. Who needs existence when you're a Bloodletter? VindicareX has pushed this Dreadnought really far forward. There's that inspiration on melee kill. Bloodletter's teleporting the hell away. Oh, going for the Librarian. Look at that damage. Librarian, is that quickening or did he just put Veil of Time on him? I think that's quickening there. Gives him some damage resist and a speed boost, I believe. On the power is VindicareX. Trying to stop that tank from showing up. Oh, Vindicarex went for Plague Marines. So no tank anytime soon. Bloodlet is teleporting into the mid. Both of them. Grenade is there waiting for them. And a good special from the Librarian. He's very low though. Bloodlet is trying to finish him. Can they get him? If they teleport, they'll get him. But they did not. They did not have the energy to do so, I think. The Librarian barely makes it out. Bloodlet is continuing to smack things around. There's a double phase out under Devastator fire. Can they get past the Dreadnought before this wears off? They can't. Having to retreat now. Emperor's Fist on retreat path. I think he should have just got a regular attack in there and tried to get a model. Here are your Plague Marines. Very tough infantry with huge amounts of health regen. Don't have particularly heavy armor though. And they've got that snaring missile launcher and damage over time plague bolt guns. Got at least one hit on the Dreadnought already, and that's turned around. They've got a full power bash Vindicare. Awesome use of the Dreadnought to control the map. Was super aggressive with it. Assault squad now decapping the wreck point. I still think Zebragel should have gone tier 3. Huge amounts of power now they have. Don't really need to even repurchase the power. Not sure what these heretics were doing, but they've died. Those were the melee heretics. Plague Marines exploding on death, damaging those tactical marines. Assault squad jumping out after being bloodletted. Bloodletted? Something. Plague Marines drop another model. That was a bit sloppy from Zebragel. Tier 3 for VindicareX now. There's a bunch of Khorne worship. Chaos Lord takes over the cap. What's scarier than Bloodletters? Bloodletters with +2 speed, I think. Any of them leveled yet? They haven't leveled yet. They've been viciously dangerous every time they've got in there, though. Veil of Time Devastators. Veil of Time means that they don't need to set up their weapon to fire, and of course they still get that speed boost. It's pretty amazing for those guys. Sacred Standard up for the Force Commander. Constant damage bonus to nearby melee allied infantry, including a Librarian, it seems. So even commanders and sub-commanders are affected. Chaos Lord gets in on the devs. Bloodletters will now try to focus down the Librarian, probably. Force Commander getting some good battle cry in. Level 4. Oh no, he didn't pop battle cry, it was just a special. Now the Force Commander's in a bit of trouble. Gonna teleport, they're gonna teleport and get him, I think. Oh, they got Emperor's Fisted. But there's the teleport, they will get the Force Commander here. There he goes. But now they need to retreat. Plague Marines getting some decent run of shots on the Dreadnought. Now being suppressed by the Heavy Bolter, but Plague Marines are tough bastards and they operate well under suppression, not being slowed down as much as other infantry, although they're already slow. And they still fire at the same rate. Librarian coming in to tie him up now. Chaos Space Marines never got their aspiring champion, I don't think. And they never got a mark. Are these blood sacrifice bloodletters? Yeah, they are. The other two are safe back here. And there's that Khorne worship. These guys need to be careful now, though. Dreadnought's on them. Librarian gets away. Vindicare well in to tier 3 now. Look at a Dreadnought chasing forward, though. Going to chase those Plague Marines. They might be able to get it here. The Dreadnought's a little bit isolated. Here come Assault Squad with their Sergeant, but they're missing a model. Sergeant has a Power Sword and Merciless. This might be a good place for Merciless. Merciless Strike, there it is. Oh, maybe he should have angled it upwards there. But it was a decent hit. Oh, Dreadnought chased all the way into base. It's going to go down then. I think Vindicare figured it was going to go down. May as well send it in to kill some stuff. It was probably going to get chased back and taken out. 146 to 300. Decent VP lead for VindicareX. Excuse me while I open my water bottle. Where did those guys go? Oh, we got some Vanguard veterans now for VindicareX. Lots of power weapons. A couple of power swords, lightning claws, and that fancy hammer. That fancy hammer has an inherent 15% knockback chance, I think. which is cool. Plague Marine's kicking those scouts there. Very, very stinky kick. Bloodletters in on the devs. Maybe they could have a little bit more finesse here, Zevragel, and teleport the Bloodletters to different locations. Like one on the tax, one on the devs. You don't really need double Bloodletters to kill some Devastators. And all the while the tax are shooting their plasma gun. Vanguard veterans with the Merciless. They had for the Emperor on them there, I think. I thought maybe they were close enough to get the Sacred Standard buff, but they weren't. When the Force Commander's downed like that, his Sacred Standard goes into overdrive and gives an even larger buff, 40%. Look at the resources for Vindicare. He just purchased something big. What was it? Oh, it's Terminators. Of course it is. Assault Terminators hit the field. If they don't get claws, Bloodletters will do huge amounts of work against those guys, especially double Bloodletters. Need to be careful here though, there's a lot of stuff. Level 2 Bloodletters and level 2 Bloodletters really messed up the Vanguard veterans. But they also took some hits. Lost 3 models between them. No lightning claws for those guys. We do see a Chaos Dreadnought for Zevragel. Mark of Khorne, perhaps. Surely it's going to be Mark of Khorne. That kind of encourages the Terminators to stick with their Thunderhammers, which means the Bloodletters are more effective against them. If they get lightning claws, a Mark of Khorne Dreadnought will chunk through them. You might also encourage power to be spent on the Power Fist of these fellas. Force Commander still down, by the way. 110 to 281. Here's your Dreadnought. No mark yet. Begins with an autocannon and the underslung twin-linked heavy bolter. Or is it just a twin-linked bolter? Plague Marines, maybe 2 models. Yeah, they got 2 models. They're alright. That plasma gun is so nasty. On level 4 tax as well. 31 DPS almost just from the plasma gun, and that's at level 1. And they can pop Kraken bolts to increase it further. That will take it up to 36 at level 1 Kraken bolts. Here's your Dreadnought. It is indeed Mark of Khorne. Turns it into a full-on melee beastie. That can Blood Rage. And they're using it to zone out Vindicare. Back to the power. We got a las cannon in from the Devastators. Bloodletters will be looking to teleport. There's Veil of Time. Getting a decap as well. There's some Khorne Worship plus 2 speed on the Dreadnought as well. Those Devastators having to get awfully close in a very awkward position to get shots in. Did that miss? Did that shot miss or shoot at something else? That was weird. Maybe they saw something before they saw the Dreadnought, technically, and were aiming at that. That was a Blood Rage there you just saw. Give the Dreadnought more speed, more durability, and more damage, but you lose control of it. And that's got itself into a bit of trouble here. Where's the assistance? There's no assistance for the Dreadnought. It's just going to go down. 86 to 280. Zevragel not backing up his Dreadnought at all, wanting to get those caps, and down goes the Dreadnought. Did not do a lot of work there. Very surprised that it didn't teleport on the las cannon and stuff with the Bloodletters. They were determined to get those caps, and the Dreadnought falls away. There's a double. They're getting their natural back as well. Maybe having the VPs in hand will see them through. There's Veil of Time on Assault Terminators. There's Bloodlust up. Global ability of the Chaos Lord gives all the units in your army more damage as they land attacks. It's like a stacking buff. You get more of a buff from melee attacks, but you still get a buff for ranged attacks as well. Those guys having to phase out. That was a good smite from the Librarian. Got some Marco Zinch CSM now. They get a demonic plasma gun. And they'll be doing huge amounts of damage to the Terminators with those Inferno Bolts. Bloodletter's dealt with, though. Can they get a model off those Terminators? Apparently not. That was slightly unlucky for Zebragel. And they lost 2 models pretty quickly, including their aspiring champion there. Terminators alone need to get back to base. They cannot retreat, of course. Of course, one is still down, just providing that Sacred Standard buff around him. Zebragel up against it, having lost that Dreadnought without really any payoff. I don't think it even hit anything, did it? Might have hit a few things. See the Plague Marines debuffing the speed of the Librarian when he gets close. Just by their sheer presence. They're smelly boys. Leave them alone. Did those guys level up? Yeah, the Vanguard Veterans level 2. There's a Force Barrier. Pretty nice time to use it. The entire army trying to get onto that VP, basically. And massive frustrations for them. Back in the day, of course, in retail, the Librarian has to channel that ability, which didn't see a huge amount of usage. It was really a great change that it got in Elite. Just to be fire and forget. What is this? Oh, Chaos Lord went down. And they show no fear attack, shot him to death and then meleeed him, I guess. Big fight in the mid. Should favour Zebragel with the double Bloodletters under Worship, but they're trying to focus down the Heretics here, as you can see, and they're going to get them. And they do get them. Veil of Time on the Vanguard Veterans as well. Oh, they focused the Librarian down. I thought they'd go for the Vanguard Veterans. Librarian is doing a huge amount of work and wanted him off the field or dead, I guess. They're still chasing the Vanguard Veterans. But there's the game. Zebragel conceding at the end. Just lost too much stuff. All the Heretics were gone. Chaos Lord was down again. And that Dreadnought didn't do great. Level 3 Chaos Lord, VindicareX, with a level 6 Force Commander, was back up at the end, as you can see. Sacred Standard buffing everything around. And there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. It was a fun 1v1 between some very experienced players. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.